Hello and welcome to the fourth round of FormulaXbox Season 6. I'm your commentator for today, KGibbsGP, and after 3 different winners in the first 3 races, who knows what the next 40 minutes have in store for us. Sochi is an interesting venue with new asphalt that holds tyres together pretty well. Strategy could therefore be quite simple today, in fairness. A one-stop races on the cards using both the super soft and soft compound tyres. What it does mean is that drivers are able to push pretty much from lap 1 to all the way to the checkered flag, so that does make for some interesting racing. But as always, FormulaXbox is anything but predictable, so let's wait and see. And on that unpredictability note, this is the second time we've attempted this Russia races. On the first attempt, lobby issues, lag issues caused lots of incidents, lots of action, and ultimately derailed the progress of a lot of drivers in the race. Given that it was largely not their fault and various glitches during a safety car period, it was deemed that there was going to be a re-race. Now, that first race was won by Drastic Devil. Half points have been awarded for that particular event for those that did actually manage to get to the checkered flag, who deserve some sort of reward. But this is the one that counts. This is the full points race. So this is where the winners and losers will really have something to either cheer or to frown about by the end of it. But ultimately, it should be a fascinating race, as I said, with drivers pushing from lights out to checkered flag. So it's going to be very, very interesting to watch indeed. So as we wait now for the light sequence to begin and this race to get underway, cross over now to prototypbudgie in the McLarens, who've got 2, 3, 4 and 5 red lights. Lights out and away we go as we see Jokers gets a brilliant start there. I imagine it's probably a jump start, and same with Dan Mack as well, as there seems to be action up ahead of Manners round. Lots of cars around. We've got the Red Bull of KGibbs off as well. Prototypbudgie's in the wall. His left front has become detached from the car, and it's a nightmare for him as we see Jokers. Definitely a jump start from him there. It looked like he tagged the Manor. The 2 Renaults got into each other as well. KGibbs was in the wall there briefly for a moment as well, and you see Sinan's come off very badly there with his entire front wing gone. Now let's see what happened up front. That was all the action in behind. But what about the leaders? We had Josh on pole position, Camundo in second after a close to 4 qualifying session. And as we see the bit of the carnage there, Drastic Devil just about got away with it and not getting tagged by the Manor. And he got a fantastic run down into turn 2, down the inside of both the Williams and the Force India. He goes too deep though, hits the Williams. It seems to be bunching up there, and Drastic Devil loses his left front as well. Nightmare for him, retired from the session despite that incredible start from P6. And ultimately, as you see Hickey, just a replay of this now, avoiding all of the carnage that happened at turn 1 there. Just a bit of a cluster of cars really, and nowhere for them to go after that. And Luke just about got away with it as well. It seemed he got just tagged a little bit by the Manor. And what we're going to get here is a fantastic view of what happened at turn 3. So you see the 4 cars, the Sauber, the Red Bull and the Williams both go wide there, and it's just a pinch between 4 cars. Camundo just involved there as well as the Sauber project on the outside. And ultimately that led to Drastic Devil, as you see him returning to the pits now out of this race. It was a bold move down the inside from him, and ultimately he did trigger that particular incident. So I very much think the stewards will be having a look at that one a bit later on, because that was slightly bordering on reckless there from Drastic Devil, in all honesty. He tried to win the race by lap 2, and ultimately it ends in DNF for him. As we see now Luke in Silent Mo, he's round. He's hit the wall, front wing damage as well. Nightmare for him once again. He's been involved in so many lap 1 incidents this season, and he thought he got away with them for a minute, but ultimately he's got more front wing damage to deal with, and I imagine what he's going to have to do now is box with his entire left front end fence gone. So it's going to be an early stop for him. I imagine he'll go under the medium tyres. It does look like that, like it will be that particular choice on strategy for him as he gets it down to the 50-mile-per-hour speed limit. And well, the one silver lining for him is that at Russia, with the tyre wear, as I said earlier on, like it is, it means that he can potentially take that medium tyre despite having to pit on lap 1 all the way to the end of this race. It'll be fascinating to see if he can eke that tyre out for that amount of time and ultimately not cost himself a pit stop despite his early scuffle with the walls. as we see Drastic Midget picking up a 3-second time penalty there for some track limits very early on for him, and Dan Mack doing the same, but a 10-second penalty this time for his exit from the last corner. A bit harsh, that one. I wonder if the stewards will have a look at that one, given that it is just one infringement by the looks of things from Dan Mack, as he gets in the DRS now of Sinan. Down the inside he goes into turn 2. Doesn't get the move done cleanly though, they both go wide. Sinan's going to have the inside now for turn 3, but Dan Mack on the outside's got much better traction and gets the job done as such. He gets a little bit of a wobble through turn 3 there. Not a nice place to have a little bit of one of those oversteer moments, but got away with it this time as he pulls the inside defending from Sinan. Sinan backs out of it, thinks better of it. They're going down the inside there. It was rather aggressive defending there from Dan, pulling his car across the inside line. All fair, but ultimately pretty uncompromising from him. As we see now, Sinan still all over the back of the McLaren like a rash. He's gone deep though, and that's going to mean the Renault's going to swoop past now up into P10 and up into the points paying positions. So after having to pit on lap 1, the Renault's now back into the points, and it'll be interesting to see how far he can get in this race. Off the lap 1 pitters, we also had Sam and KGibbs as well also diving into the pits. So a few guys at the back of the field now that will be trying to make up as much ground as they can and salvage as many points as they can from this race. As we see a couple of guys who did get away with it on lap 1, Nor and Hickey. Hickey, very, as we saw on the replay as well, well avoided all of that carnage in turn 1. It was a good bit of holding back from him there to not lose too much time to have to make an early stop. As we see, he's now still behind Nor later on in lap 8, and ultimately it's going to be difficult to pass in sector 2. It's really only one line through here as Hickey hangs back, but he's got a bit of a pace advantage over Nor. Obviously Nor on the super soft tyres that will be going off by this point potentially, and Hickey will have a bit fresher rubber with his soft compound. As you see, Nor really loses the back end as he goes onto the straight, and that's going to cost him traction as Hickey gets the DRS open. But that straight line speed of the Renault seems enough to repel the Ferrari at the moment. It's going to have to be a bold move if Hickey's going to make it, and he's not. He goes to the outside actually. He's going to try around the outside of Nor as they head into the technical sector 3. Nor still holding his outside line, holding his ground. That's going to give Hickey the inside next. They bang wheels there as well. Fantastic close racing between the two of them. It's flip-flopping from one corner to the other as who has the advantage, but it's Hickey who comes out on top now and moves up into the podium positions with P3 for now, as we see his teammate now, Sam, on the medium tyre after his lap 1 stop, under pressure from Lars, who makes his way past on the soft tyre as well. So grip advantage from those soft tyres at the moment, and Sam gets demoted 1 place. As we see now Dan Mack in the McLaren down in P11. He's got a bit of an oversteer moment there. He's heading to the wall. He's heading out of this race now. Retirement for Dan Mack as he hits the wall and becomes another casualty of the Russia barriers. As we see KGibbsGP in P7 now, still with Lars right behind him. I wonder if that incident with Dan will bring out a safety car, but it doesn't seem to have done just yet. The marshal's obviously able to clear that car away nice and quickly, and KGibbs, who's been on these tyres since lap 1, gets it all crossed up on the exit there, and Lars says thank you very much, I'll have P7. And so left front again seems to be quite limited for KGibbs at the moment. He's on 45% wear, and we saw the issues he had last time out in China where he got a puncture on that left front, so it's going to be something he's conscious of. And with what is 11 laps to go, I very much doubt he's going to be able to take that tyre to the end, and we may see him have to box again. Particularly, as I said, given what happened last time out, he seems to be quite hard on the tyres at the moment, even on a track like Russia. As we see just saw a replay there of Lars making his way past. Now it's Hickey in P2 after making up more ground. He's got Casey behind him though. Casey's going to go to the inside now as they head into the braking zone. Casey still doesn't quite make the move stick. He's on the outside, but he's going to get the cut back as they head through now into the final 4 corners. Casey doesn't have the legs on him at the moment. Hickey's holding his ground once again well, but Casey round the outside just like Hickey did to Nor and gets the job done as Hickey dives to the pits now, obviously on worn rubber, and so does Drastic Midget on lap 17. So both of these guys will probably be going for the super soft tyre, as I mentioned at the start. This is probably the optimum strategy. Soft and super soft, one-stop race. It's pretty comfortable on tyre wear, and it means that at the end of the race you're super fast, and that's Drastic Midget, who's probably going to drop down to P8 behind, as we see Lars and KGibbs, who are both going to get the jump on him. But on their worn tyres, This should give Midge an enormous advantage. He should be able to dispatch these two with relative ease as they continue with their own battle. KGibbs is where now on 48%, so it is getting worse and worse for him. It's a long way to go on those tyres the way they are at the moment. He's already done 18 laps on them though. It's going to be very marginal as to whether he can get to the end on those. Lars obviously made an early stop. Whether he'll come in again and go for some softer rubber at the end remains to be seen. But as you see, Drastic Midget already, having only just come out of the pits, he's only just got some heat in the tyres, but he's already all over the back of KGibbs. And this should be, well, this should be done with relative ease, you would have thought, and the Mercedes. As KGibbs bottled up behind Lars at the moment, but gets a poor run out of there. Drastic Midget's all over the back of him like a rash at the moment. KGibbs goes for a defensive line now as they head onto the straight. That's going to compromise him, and well, Drastic Midget didn't even need the DRS there. Already made the move on KGibbsGP, as we see now a replay from Drastic Midget's perspective as KGibbs takes a very defensive line. Poor defending really from him there. Allowed Drastic Midget to swoop past into P7. Although in reality it was only a matter of time as he is calling up to the back of Lars at quite some speed with the DRS. He's not going to make the move now though. But again, you feel it's only a matter of time until he gets into P6 with the pace and grip advantage that he's got. As he's now all over the back of him. You see on turning and on the brake, and he's got such a good front end on that car now with the super soft quali tyres on. And Lars, a little bit of break of traction on the exit there and into the penultimate corner. That's going to be a job done by Drastic Midget as he runs Lars out of the road on the exit there and moves up into P6. Now, whether he's going to be able to chase down Hickey or whether P6 is going to be the best he can do in this race remains to be seen. Hickey, of course, on the super soft tyres, boxed the same lap as well as Drastic Midget, so there's no pace or grip advantage for Midge to be had. So it's going to come down to pace between the Mercedes and the Ferrari. As we see now, Luke being passed by Hickey on the super soft tyres. Again, Hickey making that tyre advantage work for him. And to be fair, I think that was probably a bit of a relinquish there from Luke of the position. No point really fighting that particular battle, as it's only a matter of time till he passes. And Luke, of course, is in the same boat as KGibbs and as Sam and as Sinan as well, of trying to make those mediums go as long as possible and pull this off on a one stop. As we see now, Hickey and Nor back at it once again. Hickey this time making it a lot easier than he did before and getting the move done on Nor as he heads back up into P3. These two seem to have been joint at the hip the whole race, which has made for some entertaining scraps for us to watch so far. Speaking of entertaining scraps, we've got Sam now on the medium compound tyre with KGibbs and Lars coming up to the back of him now. So KGibbs with the DRS open on new super soft tyres after making a second pit stop is going to go down the inside of Sam now as he makes the move up into P7. Goes purple in sector 2 as well, making those super soft tyres work for him. And as we see a replay from Sam's perspective now, not really a lot you could do about that one really. KGibbs with a much newer and softer tyre at that, goes straight down the inside of him there. Sam did play the defensive line on and put up a fight I should say against him, easy for me to say, and ultimately to no avail this time. And Lars also sweeps around the inside of Sam, so that's down to P9 for him there on the medium tyre. Whether he'll be able to claw back any other positions in this race remains to be seen. It's going to be tough with a lot of those around him having a tyre advantage now. As we see Lars and KGibbs who continue their battle. It's been going on for some laps now as Lars goes down the outside as they head into turn 2. Job done on the DRS there from Lars as the Manor heads up into P7. And with them both having tyres that are of a similar age and obviously both super softs, their battle, like Hickey and Midge's, is going to go to the end and be all about pace alone. As we see now, Luke is on 85% on his front left in terms of wear. Nor's made his way through now as well, and Nor on the soft tyres, but obviously much younger tyres. Having not had his strategy compromised, Luke is still going to fight this one out on the last lap though, as he goes down the inside of the Renault. Is he going to get it stopped with that amount of tyre wear though? Yes, he does. So excellent driving there from the Season 5 champion as he makes his way up into P4. And as far as damage limitation efforts go, it's a good one so far from the Toro Rosso man. As we see Sam in P9, his day's just gone from bad to worse as he clips off his front wing, having gone deep at the end of the DRS zone. So not a good one from Sam this one. So championship leader seems to be in a bit of strife at the moment after his issues on lap 1, one of those that was caught up once again in all of the lap 1 carnage, and he's now got Sinan all over the back of him in P10. as they battle it out for what is going to be 1 and 2 points. The winners, both race winners this season, in fact. So not where you'd expect them to be, but with the amount of unpredictability we've seen so far this season, you can't really expect anything these days in FormulaXbox. As Sinan in the Renault is probably going to pass Sam with ease now with the DRS. Sam backs it off into lean as well. He seems to be limited by fuel. Also, as he goes deep now into the braking zone of 2, and Sinan swoops around the outside, takes P9, takes an extra point out of this one, as it's all getting very hectic up ahead. As you can see, Drastic Midget has closed on the battle ahead, as we've got Knorr, we've got the Ferrari as well. We actually got the Toro Rosso of Luke, as he's pulled away from Knorr on this last lap. Superb effort from Luke on those tyres as well to do that on the final lap, as we see now Midge and Knorr battle it out. But can Midge take P5? Hickey's a long way up the road, as he's used those super softs well, but it's going to be down to whether Midge can pass Knorr now as they head into the final corner. Knorr's got it all sideways as they head through the penultimate corner. Midge is going to go down for the move on the inside, but to no avail there at the last moment in this race, as Midge comes home P6. Excellent strategy from him there to take that race by the scruff of the neck and pull it home P6, as we see Sinan cross the line in P9. And it's Project who takes his very first win in FormulaXbox for Sauber. Avoids all the carnage very, very nicely indeed, although it got very close for him at turn 2 as well. Turn 2 and turn 3, I should say, on lap 1. As we see Casey Legend in P2, his second podium so far after his P3 last time out. And we got Hickey in P3 for Ferrari, so his second podium of the season, I believe. Luke in P4 did well though to recover from being one of the early lap 1 incidents basically, and pulled it back quite well to P4 in the end, showing his class there with what was a brilliant last lap given his tyre wear. To pull away from Knorr in P5, Drastic Midget in P6 as well. So yeah, an interesting race, another lap 1 incident that ultimately derailed a lot of races. Hopefully we'll see less races affected by those sort of incidents in the future, as drivers become more experienced on the game and just have a bit more of a feel for those early stages of a race. Ultimately, Drastic Devil gets a no quali penalty for the next race for his part in the turn 2-3 incident. It was an ambitious move for him down the inside, and one that ultimately was to no avail for him. So, difficult day for Red Bull in general, and a difficult day for many others. But next time out in Spain, it could be oh so different, and we may even have our 5th different winner in 5 races. Who knows? But for now, at least, guys, thank you very much for watching. There's been highlights from round 4 of FormulaXbox Season 6. And until next time, we shall see you very soon. Goodbye.